How can you show up to Monday after hanging out with Priestess Sarah? Seriously, people ask me that. They're like, Sarah, sometimes I just feel like I need a gap day to process everything that we talk about when we're doing our sessions. Up next, we got TJ Cream. Top 10 Gooby Woobies. Look at this dude. I found him on the bird bath. I have no idea what type it is. Come on, do the thing. Yeah, there he goes. He's an inchworm. I don't know where to put him. I don't know what he eats. I'm gonna go put him on the primrose, but I'm gonna go put him where he's got more variety, like way over there in the corner. Cause like he was crawling somewhere, you know, up there. So my guess is like, see, look at all this species diversity here. He's gotta like some of this. Here. There you go. Go on, yeah, there you go. Anywhere you want. Maybe he'll like it, you know? Maybe not. He'll crawl down, he'll look around, and maybe like some of the rest of it. I have no idea. But I know he's not gonna have any luck on the bird bath. Oh no, is that bee dead? I gotta go save that. Got this little dude at the pool. He's trying to dry himself off and get unstuck. Look at him cleaning himself. Preparing for flight. He's like, yes, I am out. Ha 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 ha. Actually, she's a drone, so don't want to misgender the bees. Everybody's like, oh, that's Gub Gub. I love Gub Gub. Top 10 Gooby Woobies. I just used my nose to zoom that. That was kind of good. Because obviously I can't use two hands. I'm holding it with one hand. Alright, you. Bye. You heard him buzz a little bit. He's like, oh. So it's starting to happen where they're all turning yellow at once, which I knew would happen. Like you see this one right here. So I'm going to trim this dead one off. But, yeah, I mean, it's getting a little too big for the pot. These little aphids are running away. Up next, we got Mr. Denmark. Wow. Look at that crazy butt. Ridiculous. I like his like little spiky legs, so he can do exactly what he's doing. He's on a milkweed plant, actually. It's not the same type of milkweed as the other ones. It's like a third type of milkweed. This one is the second type, and the third one is the one that you've been seeing Stupu Dupu on. Stupu Dupu is nowhere to be found today. But the Monarda punctata, or the fleabane and the Monarda punctata are going great, and so is the lupin. So it looks like the dogwood or whatever this tree is got eaten. All the little berries have been basically eaten by presumably the bird we saw doing it, the mockingbird. Looks like today we got some goldenrods, some milkweed, different type of milkweed, but still milkweed. Looks like we got blue mist flower, not in bloom, pearly everlasting, definitely in bloom, maybe like peak bloom. Pretty nice, pretty nice. This is, I forget which one this is called, but it's another type of milkweed. This one is hyssop. That one's got a lot of bugs on it. And then we come around this way, we got all this crap that I did not plant and do not care about and don't know about. This cute little sunflower right here. Some, what the hell are these called? Jopai weeds. Some vervain. Then we got more milkweed over here. The corn, this is really what I wanted to show you today. The corn is starting to go. Let's go, corn. And like, yeah, the beans are going pretty well, starting to flower. Squash isn't doing great, but it's not doing bad. There's so many pollinators today. All over the Jopai. These are mighty Jopai, and the other ones I think like ironweed maybe. Wow. What great plants. There's literally so many pollinators. It's wonderful. They love it. They're like, we get to live, hooray! The basil plant is going great. I'm actually gonna grab a leaf. Oh, no, no, no. Let me try again. That's a little better. Try to take the ones without like poop and eggs. Gotta be careful that Stupu Dupu's not around. Don't want to step on him since we don't know where he is. Our guess is that he's hiding. Because we put him over there. But like, he may not like it over there. He may try to get somewhere else again. So I've been outside for quite a while. And I was looking and looking. And I did eventually locate Stupu Dupu. Where is he? He's up here somewhere. He's on one of these leaves. He's around here. I saw him. I know I did. I found him on this direction, though. There he is. There's Stupu Dupu. It is August 4th, 2023, and I found Stupu Dupu. A very happy caterpillar, I hope. Stupu Dupu. Albany's Rural Cemetery today, and I think, yes, look at this, the mandrake fruit. So it's not quite ripe yet, but you can see that it's growing. This is the mayapple, the fabled mayapple. I've never seen one before. This is the first time I've ever seen one in person, and I had to come over and see it, obviously. This will become edible when it turns a little bit yellower. It's got to be yellow before you can eat it. If you eat it right now, it's toxic and maybe even could kill you. I don't exactly know what'll happen, but I know you don't want to do it. Is there any more, or is that like the only one? That's the only one I've ever seen in my whole life. Yeah, you can see like this one's already gone, that one's already gone. Only the ones with 2 leaves grow them, from what I've learned. So I've been keeping my eye out like everywhere, and I was just kind of walking around and just like, you know, saw the plant and started looking, and sure enough, I found one, so I came over here. And it looks like we have a little wood aster starting down there. I probably won't film too much today, but thanks for joining. Okay, so welcome back to Rainbows and Razor Blades, a show from the void. It's currently August 4th, 2023, and today we're going to be reading this sign. I've never actually sat here and read this. It's a well, not brand new now, but I said one day we'd come back, and now we're back. Chester A. Arthur. So here, let me flip the camera so you can see it better. Certainly not going to sit here for a long time reading it, so I'm going to get all of it on screen, and then that's going to be it. You'll have to pause it. Yeah, so if you want to see what this all says, yeah, you got to pause it, sorry. Because I'm not going to sit here for like a full minute or whatever. It's just a sign. I've wondered if this man was a racist, and it looks like individually at least, it's saying that he wasn't a racist. So that's good to know. But I mean, institutionally, obviously, you know, racism was still white supremacy back then. I mean, there was no question that, I'm not even sure that the slaves had been freed. You know, I mean, maybe like technically because the Civil War, you know, but yeah, not even, you know, like not even. So then, because he wasn't president, you know, like that's the thing, like, you know, 20 years after a Civil War, like, I don't know, moderate reforms, you know, I don't know, I really don't know anything about him. Prosecuted fraud during the Garfield administration, signed the Pendleton Civil Service Reform, created Civil Service Commission, presided over dedication of Washington Monument, advocate for reform of the Navy, father of the American Navy, last nomination for a second-term president, retirement and death. I'm glad they put the sign here, because it makes people like me not be able to be like, oh, he was just a white person. Communism, we should take down the statue. Obviously, that was never really me, but I'm just gonna keep this here for the sound because like eventually the thunder will go off. Like you can still hear it rumbling, but like when you hear it, you'll know why I'm recording. Like it's really like pretty incredible actually. So the storm definitely is like probably coming in. It may miss me. It may go like adjacent to me, like where I'm at. It may like parallel me, kind of thing. Running a tangent line. Sin costoa. I think that there's what's the word? Hedonism and indulgence to the type of performance art that wackos like me are capable of fulfilling, you know, the role for, because it isn't everybody. Like, and not everyone can be a total nut. Some people got to make sense. Like, you wouldn't want your lawyer walking into court being like, Your Honor, hickory dickory dock, dingly dangly do. You'd want them being like, on here whereabouts or shall as on the 5th of November, shall as where becomes, like, you want them like all up on those words, you know? Your Honor, it says shall, not may. Hemlock? Something in that family. I also feel a little guilty because I pick a little bit sometimes, and you really shouldn't. But like, you can see, it's still growing. It's still quite healthy, so there's enough to harvest, but you really shouldn't. Because if every single person was like, oh, let me smell it every time I walk by, then within like a week there'd be nothing left on the tree. So that's not really appropriate either. But things in moderation. Whoa. Things in moderation. Mostly what I try to do is I try to find the big ones that fall on the ground. Because they do drop pretty frequently. Like birds will pick them up when they land, or pick them off when they land. You know, squirrels if they choose to climb it. You know, wind will just knock them down and break them. Like you can find some like pretty extensive fall. The problem is that it has just been mowed. So like all the fall from the last couple of days that would have been like just smelling great. You know, with oil that I could crush up and stim between my fingers. There's this cut on my fingers. It's very frustrating. It's like there's two of them actually, which leads me to believe that it was probably a physical injury from something. There's a split right on my thumb, which often that injury lines up with my broken keyboard because I'll be typing, and the thing that's supposed to mount the brace or whatever, like the metal, sharp little metal thing that's supposed to catch the key tooth, or like the little key bracket, whatever it's called. The keys are all missing, so it's just like I'm just hitting the little rubber empty thing, and sometimes it like pierces right through my, and like it sucks. It's just like stabbing myself with a miniature knife. Why would I do that? It's stupid. But then there's the other one on my thumb, which like I don't type with my thumb. I type with like this finger. Or is it on this finger? Yeah, it's on this one. Yeah, you can't even really see it. Like, that's annoying. Like, imagine, like, POV, you're just typing and then you get stabbed because your key is missing. So I've just been, like, not touching it, and obviously it's all inflamed and it hurts, and there's nothing I can do about it. I've been soaking it in water because it just feels good. I have no idea if that's good for a wound. I'm not a doctor. I could Google it, but I don't give a fuck. Why should I? Gang, gang, gang. Any minute now, we'll hear it. I was on a date one time. This is a fake story, but I can go with it. I was on a date one time with this girl from the city who didn't really understand what a thunderstorm was, because while she understood that like thunder and lightning kind of went together, she didn't really understand the open space correlation between the two, because she had always been so clustered beyond buildings that the noise itself was like a constant ricochet and was mostly tuned out. And where that there was lightning and thunder, it was kind of just a mixture between the two. And she didn't really have the perception of like the sky lighting up, where like I saw that and I knew to get my camera out and start recording, because we would hear the entire like rumble of just like you hear the cascade of the movement of the electricity, kind of like it doesn't just like discharge in one little area. Sometimes it does, but boom, it's like the whole thing. And so you really are hearing the entire sky rumble, and then you're hearing the sound roll in because it all goes off at once, right? It all goes off at the exact same time. So what you're hearing is the rumble of time and space, like it and air. So 4 miles away, if the same bolt of lightning is hitting us right above my head's gonna sound like it's gonna rumble, and then it's gonna like roll in. Like that's why it's like hard to get a fix on it. So like I am pretty experienced with lightning. I watch a lot of Pecos Hank. I watch a lot of, this one is here like every year. There's always this like weird, like rare albino expression. Hold on, I gotta start a new video. So this is seriously, if you're watching this and this is somebody that this is you, this is not to attack you, because I know some of you watch, 4 or 5 of you actually watch my stories, that this could apply to. So in the last like month, to just generalize it, I've had like 5 or 6 different people, like soft, I'll call it soft flaking. Like a hard flake is where you just no call, no show, but like no one does that to me anymore. Like I'm not hanging out with people that are like that. Like, oh yeah, sorry bro, like I passed out with a needle in my arm. Like absolutely not. You're off my friends list. You're out of my life. Absolutely not. But, and this is where I'm going with today's episode, capitalism is eating all of you. Capitalism is stressed to the point where like you're basically gaslighting me, gaslighting yourself about the reasons why you don't want to hang out. You're emotionally exhausted, and I personally, I'm an emotionally exhausting person. I'm an investment. I'm something that you have to go into with an open mind. I'm not there to charge you up unless you're here to get charged up, right? Like I'm something that takes courage to confront, because I am the extension of a psychedelic experience. You cannot have just the psychedelic experience. You need someone to process with. Just like, well, allegedly, according to the Americans, you need therapy to get through trauma. Now, I'm not going to disagree with that. I think actually that's the best thing that most of my American friends have come up with, is a trauma therapist and a full-time job. Hey, that's great, man. But how do you feel? Well, the answer is you feel emotionally exhausted, and you have no energy, and actually you have no energy to even process the fact that you have no energy. Now, I've got plenty of time and plenty of energy because I'm a leech, I'm a parasite. I'm somebody who just like gets along, slinking around just fine, because I made some, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but let's just say I don't have to do the work that you guys are doing. I'm also incapable of it because I'm disabled. So it's like I'm a double whammy. I'm a upside down hipster, flippity wibwog. I'm Charles Manson, bro, just without the murder. I'm a sexy TikToker, but without the body and without the phone. Banned on Kick. Check out the bull thistle. So, like, these people, right? It's not like they're doing it to hurt me. Like, 6 or 7 people have had to do this to me just in this summer. And it never used to be like this. Somewhere around COVID is where this started, but, like, no one was hanging out with me during COVID. They're like, I just don't know because my family. And I'm like, that's fine, because that's what every single person around here culturally is saying and doing. That's fine. But also, another half of my friends are total lunatic conservatives, and they never even seem to got COVID, and they never wore masks. Now, I don't think that I want to return to whether or not that I think the masks were a good idea or not. I will tell you this, and there's historical precedents to suggest that this is the truth. I was wearing a mask. I'm also vaccinated. I don't know how I feel about getting all forced vaccinated and stuff, but it wasn't the police that held me down. It wasn't the government that held me down and said you have to get this injection. It was the fucking economy. It was the fact that we're all forced by these systems and these corporations, that we sign our lives to these systems for their payments, for their payment plans and their debt, for whatever it is, to the point where like you were literally so emotionally exhausted that when, instead of hanging out with me, someone who's just going to rant your ear off and go berserk and maybe actually turn you against the system, I mean, you can't have that. How can you show up to Monday after hanging out with Priestess Sarah? Seriously, people ask me that. They're like, Sarah, sometimes I just feel like I need a gap day to process everything that we talk about when we're doing our sessions. One of the things I'm going to start doing is just recording 2 null gigabytes of just footage. Just like sit it down, get some good footage, and move on. Get like 6 different scenes for 2 minutes each. That's enough talking time, and then I don't have to talk and walk. Yarrow Smelling Festival starts kind of soon. Not very good. Not very good. Not the best. So here you can see that there are none the fruits, they're all gone, you know, for whatever reason. I have no idea what that reason is. Maybe it's rodents eat them, maybe it's that they just fall naturally or just never form, or the flowers didn't get pollinated. I really have no idea. But the one over there is fruiting, and I would feel bad if I took the fruit. Low key, I want to come here and try it though, like one day. I get along with the she-theys pretty well. Some of them I rub a little bit the wrong way because they fit, because I'm also she-they, right? But I'm the type of she-they that was raised and still has a dick. So they get kind of a little frustrated with that sometimes, especially the more sapphic ones, because like they are all about like, and sometimes I'm, you know what I mean? And so like where that the punk girls and the riffraff can kind of vibe check that and be like, yeah, sweetheart, come over, let's fuck. I am personally put off by like the goopiness of it. Like, no, not your goo. Don't put your goo near me, slut. Very lost and being dysregulated are kind of almost in some way the same thing, or one is the outcome of the other. So like I feel more regulated when I'm with other people because I feel less lost, because I'm not supposed to ever be alone. Like I'm always supposed to have my tribe. I'm always supposed to have the best types of people. I'm always supposed to be surrounded by like just the best people. Always, I have that instinct. Like tribally, I have that instinct. But the reality is that there's just like so many shitty people that I just don't want to deal with ever. And I just like, I don't have enough money to not hire them, if that makes sense. Like I can't hire the non-shitty people. They're working for other non-shitty people that just have more money than I do. We'll be right back after this. And this guy. Japanese beetle. On the primrose. And then above that, we got, he's in the shadow. He's on the Jopai. These like weird alien milkweed pods. I love these. These are like my favorite thing in the yard. Ridiculous. No one could forget Glubtubus Weppel. He doesn't seem to respond to my voice at all or my sounds. Try to like flinch and move, he doesn't care.